So in the meantime, we do want to turn to Arizona, where we have new developments in a case we've been following for years here at Court TV.
You may have heard of it. Doomsday cult mom and convicted killer Vallow Daybell will now be without counsel at her trial in Arizona after waiving her right to be represented by her counsel. Not only that, she reportedly wants to represent herself. The court will defer Lori's request until after her mental health evaluation is complete.
And this comes after the judge granted Lori's defense request to evaluate her competency before her trial can begin. So the trial date was vacated and no new trial date will be set until those evaluations are completed.
All right, let's get you caught up now on that particular case. Here's Court TV anchor Ted Rowlands with a closer look at the charges that Lori is facing in Arizona.
Her name is Lori. She's unaware of anything. Tylee, the daughter, also doesn't know anything.
July 11th, 2019, 62-year-old Charles Vallow has just been shot in his estranged wife Lori's house. As first responders and EMTs tape off the crime scene and begin their investigation, Lori Vallow seems to be more concerned with what her neighbors think than the fact that her husband had been shot.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi, neighbor, sorry.
Charles Vallow died at the scene. Lori's brother, Alex Cox, admitted that he was the shooter, but he claimed he was acting in self-defense.
I didn't see the shot, it hurt, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground. Okay. And was freaking out.
A couple of months later, Lori Vallow moved to Idaho with her kids, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow. By December, she was married to her fifth husband, Chad Daybell, and both her children were missing. She was also ghosting Charles's sister and brother-in-law, who were JJ's biological grandparents.
If somebody 2 years ago would have said, this is what's going to happen with Lori, I would have never believed it.
After months of radio silence from Lori, Larry and Kay Woodcock announced a $20,000 reward for information about the kids.
These are beautiful young children. They're two extremely intelligent young children, and we want them back. We want them back in our family.
As police searched for Tylee and JJ, they discovered a disturbing trend of unusual and unexplained deaths or random shootings of people close to Lori and Chad. In mid-October, Chad's wife, Tammy, died unexpectedly at their home 2 weeks before Chad married Lori.
Hello, I'm Chad, the husband. She's clearly dead.
This was weeks after a masked man shot Tammy while she was in her driveway.
I didn't step out of the backseat of my car, and suddenly he was there, and he had a paintball gun, and he was and like he was going to shoot at me.
While in Arizona, investigators found out that the estranged husband of Lori's niece had also been shot at in his driveway back in October.
911, where's your emergency?
Someone just shot my window, and it hit my window, shattered my driver's side window.
The shot missed Brandon Boudreau's head by inches, and his private investigator said Brandon had a pretty good idea who was behind this attack.
He believes that Alex Cox was the person who fired that shot, and he knew that Alex Cox was kind of the family hitman.
Police were never able to question Alex Cox about Brandon or Tammy's shooting because he died as well in December of 2019.
911, where is your emergency?
I have a older male here named Alex. He just passed out here on my bathroom.
After Lori and Chad were arrested for the deaths of Tammy, Tylee, and JJ, she was indicted in Arizona for conspiring with Alex Cox to kill Charles Vallow and attempting to kill Brandon Boudreau. She could be sentenced to 2 more life sentences in prison if she's convicted in Charles's and Brandon's cases.
All right, let's bring back in our guests, criminal defense attorneys Jack Rice and Josh Schiffer. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Guys, let me ask you this question, and Josh, I'll start with you. Are you surprised that they are allowing this to happen, allowing the defense attorneys to sort of say, we don't want to represent her anymore, during a time where she has to get a mental health evaluation, that there might be some issues?
It's such a delicate walk because you have to abide by certain choices of the client until they've been found to be incompetent. That's clearly something that's been argued about for years now. But so far, she's competent to make her own decisions. That includes representing herself, despite everybody in the universe universally agreeing that's a terrible idea, and us all looking at Lori Vallow running her own trial as a train wreck. But we also all don't know exactly what the dynamic is between her and Chad, and what kind of fantasies and hallucinations she has about what's eventually going to happen to her life. We're all still so wrapped up in whether they're prophets and religion and when the rapture is going to come. It just doesn't end with her, and it's gripping. It's beyond gripping.
Yeah, as to the fantasies between her and Chad. Number two, I think here's something that's interesting to me. I see it a little bit different, which is Lori says, I want to represent myself. After the defense requests a competency hearing, Sarah Boone does it after she's gone through 8 attorneys because she doesn't like them. I feel like this might be, Jack, people thinking, I can do better, and I don't like what my attorney did for me, so I can represent myself.
Your Honor, that's really common, in fact. I mean, the concern that some people have is that they imagine that their lawyers are going to filter who they are. And as a result of that, if they can actually stand before this jury, they're going to be able to explain this in such a way that will make sense. The problem is their view is so shockingly skewed sometimes, first of all, because they don't understand the law. They don't understand procedure. They don't understand how the facts are presented. They don't have access to this. They don't have experience doing this before. And frequently, they have no perspective whatsoever. And so as a result, what they create can be a complete, as Josh said, a train wreck. And honestly, and I've seen these happen as a prosecutor when I saw pro se defendants. I've seen this in cases where people have wanted to go pro se when I was involved earlier on. And what happens is it's the last thing judges want. It's the last thing prosecutors want, because what it does is it makes the case almost impossible, and it also creates the potential for appeal even more extreme because of things that might come in, things that might be said, how they're presented, and what it does. It opens it up in such a way that there is no certainty to where we go next.
I think it all has to do with Chad. Same way. Do you remember?
You do?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Remember the other trial? I believe we all sort of agreed that they were kind of filtering the way they went after the case by not going after Chad.
Well,
enough,
that is true.
Right? And maybe
right.
her
They
new
didn't go
attorneys
after Chad.
are like, this is our best bet here, or maybe they're coming up with something she doesn't like.
That's a good
that has
point.
to do with them. And again, I don't care. I don't think she really cares about the outcome of these trials. She has this whole other belief about what her life is about and what it's going to be. So I don't know.
She's not going to go after Chad.
That's kind of where I am with the whole
Could
thing.
be.
All right, guys.